Hello, my loves. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome into this video for the new moon in Sagittarius 2022. For those of you who are new, hello and welcome in. We're going to be learning more about our own astrology, and then we're going to be utilizing the spiritual tools of the cards to learn more about how to tap in to that astrology based on what's currently happening in the sky. So I'll dive more into that in a moment, but if you want to learn how to get the most out of these readings, I do have a tutorial video for you that helps bring you up to speed with the intentions that I set and the little tips and tricks that I offer to you to get the most out of what it is that I share here. For those of you who are not new, hello and welcome back. It's so lovely to have you here. I'm really honored to be able to serve in this way, to be able to play with our astrological cycles and the cards to really help us to learn more about ourselves and to really make amazing leaps in our lives to the highest good of ourselves and the highest good of all. And if you want to support me, of course you can do that by engaging, liking, commenting, sharing, reaching out to me, letting me know what resonates, letting me know what questions you have. You can do that by donating. PayPal.me/devotedvulnerable, link is in the description, or you can sign up for one of my services at devotedandvulnerable.com/services, link is also in the description. So let's talk about new moon energy. New moons occur when the sun and the moon are in the same sign, at the same degree point. So the new moon always happens in the same sign that the sun is in. The sun moves into the sign of Sagittarius on November 22nd, and the new moon happens on November 23rd. The new moon will happen in 1 degree, 38 minutes. And this lunar cycle, most lunar cycles last 28 days. This one will last from the 23rd of November until the 23rd of December. So when we're talking about this guidance and advice for this lunar phase, we're going to be talking about this cycle period from November 23rd to December 23rd. So we're focusing on new energy, and we're focusing on new energy under the umbrella of the Sagittarian energy and archetype. The Sagittarian energy is the archer, the centaur, aiming its bow and arrow at what it wants. It's always aiming at truth and then aiming at other things as well. So if you want to learn more about how Sagittarius influences you and your chart, I recommend checking out my solar readings that I did for the solar shift into the sign of Sagittarius. The sun is the spotlight of our galaxy. As it moved into the sign of Sagittarius, it's spotlighting this sign, and we look at our own astrology to get guidance and deepen our understanding of how this energy and archetype shows up in our lives. You can click on the playlist showing up right now. That'll take you to those videos. The link is also in the description here. So if you want to visit that video after you're done with this reading, you can go do that. For this reading, we're focusing on new beginnings within the Sagittarian energy and archetype. We're actually going to be focusing on a new joy. We're going to be asking the cards to guide us to a new joy, a new beginning, a new expansion when it comes to the joy within our hearts. Sagittarians are optimistic, they're idealistic, they love to learn, they love to adventure, and they are very joyous in their nature. So we're going to be focusing on the joyous new beginnings that this new moon is going to bring us. We are going to be going to my new deck, the Starseed Oracle, to get guidance on where this new beginning of joy is showing up in our lives. I'm really excited to share this new deck with you. I've had it for a few months here, and this is the first time that I'm offering it in a public reading, so I'm really excited to get into the wisdom and guidance and beauty of this deck with you guys. Now, if you want to learn more about the astrology of this moment of the new moon, I'm going to recommend Pam Gregory's video, which will dive deeper into the astrological energies fully in play at the time of this new moon. It was a really great video that I watched, and I do want to link that video here and reference it to you if you want to learn a little bit more about the astrology. For us, we're going to be watching for the house that 1 degree, 38 minutes of Sagittarius shows up in our chart. Now, if you have no idea what that means, do not worry. I have a tutorial video that'll take you through how to enter in your birth data and how to learn how to read a chart and find a degree point like this. The degree point of Sagittarius, 1 degree, 38 minutes whatever house that's in for you, and again, that tutorial will show you where that is, that's the video that you watch. All of these introductions are the same, so if you're in the wrong video right now, no problem. Just go to the house that this 1 degree, 38 minutes shows up for you in your chart, and I'll see you there. So this reading is for you if 1 degrees, 38 minutes of Sagittarius shows up in your 3rd house. If you're already familiar with the 3rd house energy, you can go ahead and scroll to the card reading. So the houses in the zodiac story represent the where of the zodiac story. Each house is ruled by one of the signs of the zodiac. The rulership of each house is determined by the order of the zodiac. So the 1st house starts with Aries. By the time we get to the 3rd house, we're now in the 3rd sign of the zodiac, which is in the sign of Gemini. So the 3rd house is ruled by this Gemini energy. Gemini is ruled by the sign of Mercury. So the 3rd house is also ruled by Mercury. So when we're talking about where in our life the 3rd house represents, it represents everything related to Mercury and Gemini. So this is communication. Mercury is the planet of communication. It deals with early education, technology, learning, language, and transportation. So this is the area of your life that you're receiving new joy in with this Sagittarius new moon ping. We call it a ping when something happens in a particular area of our chart. You're getting pinged in this area of your life, in this house, and we're going to see how we're bringing new joy into our communication with the guidance that's coming through from the Starseed Oracle. So, if you haven't already called in your spiritual support team, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance that's most aligned for you at this time, I invite you to do that. Pause the video if you need more time. All right, 3rd house. What message is coming through for my 3rd house? These are new cards, so they're still a little bit sticky. They want to be shaken up a little bit. There we go. Ooh, double mission. Interesting because Gemini is the ruler of the 3rd house and Gemini is the energy of the twins, the dual aspects of something. But the card also says, light worker, Starseed, serve the world by being you. Love it. These cards are brand new to me. I've only done a few readings with them, so I'm learning them as you are. Lightworker starseeds are on a mission and purpose-oriented. Many have the feeling that time's running out and that there's something they came here to do, create, or contribute. They're here to grow as souls individually, individual missions, and also to contribute to the planet in some action-oriented way, collective mission. Their collective mission is often answered through a career's calling or by devoting their time to something bigger. Until they remember their collective mission, it can feel as if something's missing or that they're forgetting something important. It's common for lightworker starseeds to feel that they are different, and they may carry soul memories of being visible or sharing their voice. As such, they may protect themselves by dimming their light in order to fit in, or by spending time in some sort of closet, such as a spiritual closet. If you pull this card, you're being called to remember your collective mission and step into it even more fully. You're being reminded that your role as a light worker is to light up the world with your presence. This doesn't have to mean a great big thing or a decision you need to make. You also don't need to have a great big plan. If you resonate with being a light worker, all you need to do is to work out what lights you up, your passions and joys, and keep doing that. When you trust and follow the simple path of things that light you up, and then you lose yourself in the doing, you'll light up the rest of the world without even trying. Here is your journal prompt. How can you serve the world by being you? I would also add to that, what lights you up? It's a good question to answer. And this is really, amazing that it's talking about all this joy. And that's really the theme of this new moon in Sagittarius that the cards wanted to bring through. What is this new joy for you? This new joy is following the path of your greatest joy, especially when it comes to communicating. So in the communication realm, we're talking about learning. So you might be learning something new that brings you joy. You also might be communication. That might bring you joy. That might be an area of your life that's calling you to participate in more joyously. You might also be called to travel or work with technology. That might be a joyous thing for you. So follow your joy this lunar phase from November 23rd to December 23rd and really allow yourself to trust that that's enough. You don't have to do some big, grand, huge thing in order to make your impact, in order to bring the light, in order to fulfill the mission, the role, the purpose of you being here on this earth journey at this amazing and chaotic time that we live in right now. There's not this big, huge problem that needs to be solved or even memory that you need to have of why you came here. Why you came here, this card is guiding you to realize why you came here was simply to follow your joy and to be fully in the expression of that joy. Communication of that joy to others will bring them naturally to the permission and the freedom to explore their own joy. I feel like you're almost blocking yourself by putting this pressure on you. It's almost like a way you keep yourself from shining and stepping in the light. That's the other thing I'll say about this. There's this thing called the light worker persecution imprint. And what that means is that those of us who came here to share love, to share truth, to share light, and to uplift the world have embedded in our programming, in our awarenesses, this light worker persecution imprint. Like, look at what happened to the people in our world who stood for these things, for light, for love, for truth. If you think of all of those people who stood for that, they all got really attacked, really persecuted by the culture of their time. And on some level, the light worker, the lover, the light bringer is remembering that and is kind of afraid to be seen in the light, because if those people who are seen in the light tend to not do so well, right? So you're kind of holding yourself back by telling yourself you got to find some big thing to do and big change to make. But you're kind of holding yourself back for that for two reasons. One, that keeps you from actually stepping into your light and being seen because you're afraid that you don't have the answers. And two, you are afraid to step into that. Okay, I got to re-say that. Sorry. So the lightworker persecution imprint and the I need to find it all, I need to know this big plan, I need to have it all together at once in order to make my big impact. Both of these things are holding you back. You're afraid to step in the light because you're afraid to be persecuted, and you're afraid to do something small because you don't have the big answer yet. But this card is saying, do it small, be intentional, and follow your joy. That's all you got to do. Let me know how this is resonating. Let me know if you have questions. Enjoy your new moon in Sagittarius. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.